Aloha, and thanks for tuning in. I know it's been a little while since I've put in an update, but life gets in the way. Work-related issues, a lot of travel, but here is where I am at thus far. So the first delay of that 2 month delay was work. The second month was actually Arduino, Mobi Flight, and gauge related. I had all my gauges built. They were all in here. I had them all wired up. The life was good until I started trying to fly with this simulator. I could not get these gauges to function together. I could get each individual gauge functioning on a flight. I couldn't turn them all on. Mobi Flight just didn't like it. I would get random indications. I got to the point where on my turn indicator that the ball at the bottom just stopped. Would not function at all. And I didn't even make that gauge. That was one that Captain Bob made that I actually paid for. Gauge no bueno. So I'm at the point where I won't say I'm frustrated, but I actually want to spend time flying and not building. So instead of spending another 2 or 3 months trying to troubleshoot this, I have decided to come up with an alternate means of making this reliable. And part of that is I don't want to say negate Mobi Flight in my flight sim, because Mobi Flight can do some good things for you. I have had no issues with Mobi Flight running my throttle or switches or small indicators here. It was just trying to run all these gauges, which had stepper motors in them. A lot of stepper motors takes a lot. So the first alternate plan I had was to cut here straight across and then up and then make a new panel that fit over an LCD display. But then as I was getting ready to do that, I was wondering if an LCD display would actually work just in the as-is cockpit. So I put it in, and sure enough, here we are, and it seems to work. Back here is a 15.6 inch LCD. Now it's a touchscreen, but I'm not going to use the touch functionality. It'll have 6 analog gauges running, the OBS 1 and 2 for the radio stuff here. I'll also have my bank indicator. I'll also have speed, altitude, and vertical speed indication here. And I have got the bezels printing out now. Now the bezels will actually fit snug against the monitor to kind of hold it in place, which will be nice. And that will be Air Manager running in the background. Now I did mention that I'm trying to minimize the use of Mobi Flight. Well, I still have to use it for this gauge and for these. Now, this is 2 Arduinos here, and this are running off of a single Arduino. So I've got 3 Arduinos that I'm going to be running. Well, and this will also be on there as well. But that's 3 Arduinos running. Now, the way I'm going to avoid running more Arduinos with Mobi Flight is I went a different route for my switch panel. So if you look down here, this is from Aviation Training Foundation. It looks well made. I haven't had a chance to fly with it yet, but it's one USB connection, pops right in, you're done. Now, to get around it for my fuel tank select, again, this is also from Aviation Training Foundation, and it also has my fuel cutoff switch. Now I'm going to put this at like a 45-degree angle as a compromise between the cutoff and where this is. So 45-degree angle, I can live with that. And lastly, on the flaps, again, Aviation Training Foundation, right here. What I may do, and I haven't decided yet, is I may actually build the indicator separately and use a stepper motor, but it will kind of fit right in here, like yay, and the indicator can be put over here, so I can have flaps and indicators side by side. And then we get into the trim wheel, and I have this. So what I intend to do with this, and this again is a USB device, I'm going to mount this kind of down here-ish at like that angle, but I'm going to put an indicator right here so that way you can actually see what you're indicating, or I can run it upside down. It doesn't really matter how I choose to do it, but that way I can have a good trim wheel. It's right there where it belongs, kind of right there-ish, and the indicator's right there. So it should work decently for me. And again, this is just one USB connection. So all of these things should work better than what my original setup was. It just meant I had to spend a little bit of extra money to get to this point, which, you know, when you're in this hobby, you're going to spend money. I'm not happy about spending more money. I'm not going to lie to you, but I think it'll work. And I'm hoping for about a 2 to 3 week timeline now. Now that I've cut out a lot of those parts, and I know the troubleshooting's not going to happen because I tested the monitor on another flight simulator I have, or another computer with a flight sim on it, and I've tested the knobs I want, functional, already built. These were run previously, so, and I can take time with these because these aren't really going to stop me from flying. These are just gonna be a pain in the butt, but they're not going to stop me from flying. And it'll be just getting this blank panel made, popping it in, getting the other panels made, putting them where I want them. But I think I am down to the last pieces, parts, if you will. So hopefully in the next 3 or 4 weeks, 2 to 3 is what I'm really hoping for, this gets running where I want it to. Now, and this right here is just the honeycomb is in the back there, and what I've done here is I'm just going to run a network cable from the honeycomb to here, then from here to the actual yoke of the honeycomb that I mount onto here. And it's similar to how it is in a real aircraft, so that should be okay. And these aren't actually going to run to an Arduino. These are just going to, the panel light one is going to run the LEDs that are here and here. So there's some LED function. I'll also put an LED above this here. So it'll be similar to what a real aircraft has. And the glare shield light is going to be just an LED strip up there where I run the knob for. So nothing major. And the only other thing I've done up here is, you may notice I've cut this to be, there used to be a hump up here, and that hump was to add some rigidity to the panel, but with this in, I really don't need it, so I was able to cut it across. I may smooth this out, but I think once I have the actual glare shield on, I don't think you're going to notice that. But that's my update right now. Again, there's more to come. I'm hoping in the next 2 to 3 weeks there'll be a better update where this is actually on its maiden flight. And what my plan is, I've got the 3 monitors mounted in the room where the cockpit's going to sit. So once this panel is functional, then I'm going to mount this panel where it belongs and build the center panel. So this functional in with the monitors, then the center panel comes in, and once I have that functional, then I'm going to start on the facade. And when I say facade, I actually mean like the fake sides that'll cover the, block out the visuals of the rest of the room, the fake roof area, all the little things that make you feel more immersed in a cockpit. That will be the last piece once this is up and running. So not the update I wanted to have at this point, but it's the update I got. Any questions, comments, concerns, throw them below. If you got any great ideas on MobiFlight, by all means share them. It just kicks my butt, and I'm kind of minimizing it for me. But thanks for watching, and as always, happy flying out there. Stay safe, and have a great day.